Okay, I welcome you all with love. It's one interesting time out there in the world, and we all have our different perspectives. I'm a person who's worked with gangs, black gangs in the south side of Chicago for years, helped with the power of the black gangs to stop, literally to stop riots where the police just stood down because we took care of it. I'm a person who's lived in Harlem for 3 years, worked with the Black Panthers in Harlem, the real Black Panthers, not George Soros paid for. I worked with Harlem Corps, 125th Street. So I have a little experience. And also, I'm working in at least 5 countries in Africa and a different kind of thing. So it's I'm coming from a certain perspective, which is not being confused by false claims of racism and this, that, or the other thing. In fact, my experience, like in Central Harlem, is that the people I knew were very smart. They completely understood the system, actually more than most white people. So I linked in because I have a political background. So I'm trying to look at what's going on. There's something wrong with this picture. Some people are saying only 5% of the black people involved. Other people are saying bigger amounts. There is talks about a variety of white infiltrators, so to speak, from out of state coming in. All that's a little bit debatable, but clearly there's a psyop happening at some level. You know, when pallets of bricks show up to be thrown somewhere, where do they come from? So what's to be said? I mean, personally, I was friends with Malcolm, the real Malcolm X. I didn't really know Martin Luther King, but I have to tell you that his statement is we've got to go deeper in our understanding than skin color. We have to look at the quality of who a person is. And if we're talking about white racism, black racism, yellow racism, which is very big now, and China is clearly pretty racist in its treatment of black people, we have to look at, as Martin Luther King says, the quality of a person's character as more important than the color of our skin. So how do we get around this kind of psyop situation? It's like, are we looking at people? Are we looking at their hearts? Are we looking at their intentions? Are we looking at the color of their skin? I mean, the truth is that's going on for thousands of years. I know when I traveled in South Africa, I know the Tutsis and Hutus, you know, it could be a variety of situations where it's tribal, okay? And we're trying to evolve beyond it, and you can clearly see if you can get people to go back to tribalism, it's called divide and conquer. So what's new? And actually what to do. So as people ask me what to do, I kind of have to step back a little bit and say, well, what to do has to do with remembering who you are, remembering every person carries the spark of the divine in them. Doesn't matter what color their skin is. They carry that spark of the divine. And it's about, in that way, seeing that spark of the divine in everyone and interacting in a way that gives that opportunity for that spark of the divine to shine. Actually, they're right. Spark of the divine to shine. And so, as a person who, as I again said, lived in Central Harlem for 3 years, you know, worked on the south side of Chicago with black gangs, I have a little bit of feeling. And I know, particularly from my work in Central Harlem, how politically savvy my neighbors were. And, you know, as I say, Harlem Corps and Black Panthers in that area, we work collectively. We weren't focused on the color of skin. It's like, are you with it? Do you really get what's going on? We weren't really susceptible to psyops. There's something smells about this. It feels like we've gone through so many different things. We're just pulling on the SARS-CoV-2 type trip, and now the next trip comes down the line. It's like, how do we use it? Well, probably the best way we can use it is called use it to help us wake up. You start perceiving what's going on. You start, instead of reacting, you start thinking about, this doesn't quite look right. And what is going on? So the question we want to ask is, what is going on? And how can we rise above it? How can we actually wake up, not this country, wake up the whole world so we can create peace in the world, but real peace, not false peace. And not be psyoped into whoever is doing this, whoever is paying for it, because these are obviously paid provocateurs in many places. It's not like that unobvious. If you just kind of listen, as soon as you move away from the big news type things, you know, the mass media type thing, you get people are tuning into it. So what I'm asking people to do, remember, you are the light of God. Remember, you are the love of God. And more important, seeing that light and love of God in everyone around you, no matter what their skin color is, and going beyond that, because it's at that point we begin to understand our oneness, and then we can work collectively to uplift the whole planet. Peace be with you, and I'll step a little closer here and just feel the energy coming through. And may you be blessed that your eyes open up and your awareness opens up and we can see what's going on so we can work together in collective oneness to uplift this living planet, to uplift all humanity. Peace be with you.